Hey everybody, welcome to the Creativity Cave. I'm Dina Rico and I have a beautiful card to share with you today. It's pretty easy to put together, so let me show you how it goes. Now, all of the supplies that I'm using can be found in my online store. If you just click show more, there's a description of the video, has all the links of the things I've used, as well as a link to my blog post where I've got pictures and more details. Now, I'm using the Bloom and Grow bundle, which is actually on sale until Friday, November 22nd, 2020. So make sure you check that out. We never put bundles on sale, so this is kind of awesome. And I love this bundle. I've had it for a while and it just kind of got put by the wayside, and now I am regretting that decision because I really like the set. So I bet you'll see more from this set from me in the future. Now I'm going to start with a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Crumb Cake cardstock for my card base, which I'll fold in half with my bone folder. And then I want to stamp in the background. I'm just grabbing a scrap of paper to stamp on so I don't get ink all over my work surface. And what I'm going to do is take the floral image that I've used as my focal point here, and then I'm just going to stamp it in the background with some Crumb Cake ink. So I've got my Crumb Cake ink pad, and here we go. So I'm just stamping this kind of randomly, knowing too that I will cover a lot of this up with that circle, as well as I'm actually going to do this upside down because it kind of fits in there a little better, as well as this piece of Crumb Cake that I'm going to add to this as well. So I'll show you that here in just 1 second. One more little tidbit and then we should be good. All right. So that makes just kind of a nice little background. It's subtle, not too busy. Then I took a 2-inch piece by 5.5-inch piece of Crumb Cake and I die cut it with one of the dies that comes in this set. There's actually 2 of these pieces for a scalloped border. Now it doesn't go all the way across, so I ran it through like this, and then I did it a second time, just lining it up with the first piece that I did, and then I put a Post-it note over this to hold it in place so it wouldn't move in my big shot when I was running it through again. And that's how I got this border. I'm just going to attach this to the bottom as just a little extra design element on my card. And then I'm going to add some ribbon, and then we'll do our stamping. It's pretty easy though. All right, so there we go. Got that on my card. Then I'm going to add some snail across here because I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon. So this is the Pretty Peacock, or no, what am I saying? Poppy Parade. I knew it started with the P. Poppy Parade texture weave ribbon, which is just so pretty. I love that texture that's in the ribbon. Something a little different, which is always a good thing. And then I'll just bring this across like so and then trim the edge. Now, of course, this business will be covered by my circle, so that's no big deal that it's there. And then this just adds kind of a nice little extra touch to our card. Now, to do the stamping, I've die cut the largest circle from the stitched shapes dies. And I'm going to stamp my sentiment that's right out of the set in some black memento ink. Additionally, I'm also going to take a scrap of Whisper White and stamp, I'll set that aside, stamp my image. I said probably clean that ink off, so give me just 1 second to do that. All right, we'll stamp this on that scrap of Whisper White, and then we're going to color it in with our blends. Oh, and I just got ink on here. All right, so there we go. That looks great. Close this up, and then let's do some coloring. Now for the coloring, I'm going to do lots of very simple coloring. I'm going to start with the light Crumb Cake marker, and I'm just going to color in these little dots. And the reason I'm doing this first is because this is often a step I'll overlook in the process. I'll forget about it, and so now I'm done. You could do this in a variety of colors, but I chose that. I'm going to do my main flower here in some Poppy Parade. So is that my, oh, yep, I've got light and dark. So I'm going to start with my dark. I'm just going to kind of color in the centers of each of these petals with the darker shade, and then we'll blend it with the lighter poppy. I'm going to extend it out to some of these petals back here. And this one right here. Okay. And then I'll go over it with my light Poppy Parade and do a little blending. And then I oftentimes end up coming back and going through and adding a little darker shade, in which case I will use some crushed cherry cobbler. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in just a moment. But this flower is so beautiful. And it's pretty easy to color. I might have gone outside of the lines just a little bit. We have a long-standing policy of no judging at the Creativity Cave, so it's all good. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit more. Now, in this case, I kind of like actually seeing some of the texture from my little scribble lines. So I'm not going to work too hard to blend those out entirely. I think it adds to the flower here a little bit, you know, because that's, some flowers really are like that. Okay, I think I'll let that dry for a moment. I'm going to come back and color my flowers. Or no, these are leaves. I'm using the dark Granny Apple Green, and then I'll blend with my light Granny Apple Green. I love that Stampin' Up's blends are just so easy to use. Not a lot of magical coloring skills are required to have success with them, so that makes me happy. I also find coloring with blends very relaxing, so I love that. Okay, next I'm going to color one of these flowers with some Calypso Coral. So I'm just going to put some dark Calypso Coral down, and then we'll blend it out with the light. Same thing, the base of each petal gets some dark, and then we'll color the rest in with light. Okay, so I've got my coloring done. I'm just going to add a little extra texture on my red flower. This is with Cherry Cobbler, and I'm just going to draw a few dots. And again, just highlight a little further that dark shade here. All right. I also love the idea of adding some clear wink Estella to this because I think it's really pretty. So I'm just going to go over each of the flowers with my clear wink of Stella for a little sparkle and shine. Because let's be honest, that makes everything better. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do is die cut this, and then we'll assemble the card. And I've got one extra little, or actually two extra little things I'm going to do. So I'll be right back. I love that the dies for this set cut that whole little arrangement out. That's how they are for all the images in the set, so that's pretty awesome. All right, let's take our stitched circle and pop this up on here above the ribbon. And then we're also going to add our beautiful spray of flowers above the ribbon, or above the circle. And oh, it's just so pretty. Yes, it's just gorgeous. And then the last thing I'm going to do is embellish this just a bit more with some sequins. These are from the Adhesive Backed Basic sequins. There's like 5 different kind of basic colors in that pack. And I'm just going to add a few, and then we're going to do a little spritzing with our Clear Wink of Stella, just to really punch up that sprinkled or sparkle look. Ew. Let's see if I can put that in a little better spot. There, I like that better. Okay, and maybe this one too. Sometimes when you put the first one down, you're like, oh, that is the wrong place. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to take my Clear Wink of Stella, and I'm just going to smack it. I literally almost just said spank. So inappropriate. I'm just going to smack it against something. I'm using my marker here. And that is going to put little dots of the sparkle all over, little spritzes of the sparkle. So you can see that kind of all over the place. And there you go. I hope you loved this card. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of my projects, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the little subscribe button in the box. And if you need to purchase any of these items, I would so greatly appreciate your business. Please shop my online store. I have a great VIP rewards program that I'd love to welcome you to. Have a great day, guys. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.